First, we apply some protection. And now we're ready to cut. What? This thing's too big for me anyway. All I need is a thimble. Hey folks, we're back again with another video, and today we're going to be cutting a carbon handlebar. This is not a hard job, but there's a couple of things that you need to be aware of in order to protect yourself when doing this job. We really don't know what the true long-term effects are to breathing in carbon fiber, and the reality is when you cut carbon, it creates a lot of dust particles, and the problem with those dust particles is they are very small and they are spiky. They're literally like little spears, and they stick into everything. So if you breathe them in, they will stick into your throat. They will stick into your lungs, and it's going to take time for your body to get rid of them. I cannot imagine that being good in the long term, and you do not want to be one of those guinea pigs where we find out that, what do you know? Turns out this stuff really is bad for you, all right? So let's get straight into it and talk about different ways to protect yourself when cutting one of these bars. Not that many tools needed for this job, and my personal preference for cutting carbon handlebars is using a carbon cutting hacksaw blade. The difference between a carbon cutting blade and a regular blade has teeth. If you're going to use a regular blade, make sure to use one that has more teeth per inch. So I would go 28 teeth per inch minimum, 32 if you could, or higher if you could find those in your area. A carbon blade or carbon cutting blade has a film of abrasive coating, sort of like diamond bits, that allows you to not only cut, but it'll smooth out as much as it can too while you're cutting. Problem with those blades is that they will need a wider guide. So this guide goes on a vise. This thin line over here, this thin guide is for a regular hacksaw blade, but these blades need a wider one. So if you get a tool, you don't have to get this one in particular. If you get a tool, just make sure that it is wide enough in order to hold a cutting blade. When you're done cutting, you're still going to have to smooth out the edges. I don't have my deburring tool with me, or at least over here. Any, mid-level 220-ish type sandpaper will work in order to smooth out the edges. The big question comes now: how do you protect yourself while cutting this, or while cutting the bar? Carbon will create a dust particle that is very, very sharp, and it sticks into everything. Okay, so at a minimum, I would recommend doing it outside. I'm going to do it inside because it's just easier for me to do it inside. Absolutely wear a mask, and a good mask, right? So a KN95 would be an absolute minimum. If you could get a better one, I have a better one than this, but it's just not here. It's at another site, actually with my deburring tool. You definitely want to wear a mask. You do not want to breathe any of this stuff in at all. The other thing that I fundamentally believe all of us should absolutely wear is gloves. Again, they're like little shards. As you're cutting, it's like just floating around, and they will stick onto everything. When they get onto your skin, they will go straight into your skin. You could try and wash your hands the best you can, and I guarantee you by the time you're done, there will still be a bunch of those little shards in your skin. You just won't be able to see them, right? And basically, you're going to be walking around them, until they finally shut off your body. So if you wear gloves, they'll stick to the gloves, and then when you're done cutting, you go straight to the garbage, you take off the gloves, and you put them in the garbage, and you put a new pair of gloves on, basically, unless you're completely done with the job, right? Don't let the gloves sit down. You do not want this stuff anywhere. It's hard to get rid of. Throw it in the garbage. Another way you could help prevent dust from floating around is using like a tape around the cutting area. You just cover the cutting area, clear tape you're able to see, and basically just cut right through it. Shards will stick onto the glue of the tape. And the other way, at the edge of where you're cutting, use a vacuum. If you're indoors, that is. Okay, even if you're outdoors, really, use a vacuum. It might seem like overkill. Guys, I'm telling you, it's not. Now, I'm not going to use a vacuum here because it's going to blow your eardrums. Use a vacuum to collect everything you can. You do not want this dust floating around you in your home, okay? So with that being said, well, let's start cutting a handlebar. Now, when it comes to handlebar widths, this is a personal choice, guys. Don't let anybody out there ever tell you how wide your handlebar should be based off your height, your size. Who cares? You're the one that's responsible to go out there and test the different sizes. And the best way you could do that is get a wide handlebar, 780 minimum, if not a 200, but 780 usually is more than enough for the vast majority of people. And don't cut it, just ride it. Ride your bike many, many times. This isn't a one-time deal. Ride it in many different trails, and over time, figure out the average as far as where your hand gravitates to. And then from there, once you feel that, you know what, man, even though this is a 780, I tend to go in naturally as I'm riding a trail to 760 or 750 or 740 or even 730. Then you know that that is your body's natural comfort spot as far as holding on to the bar when you are riding. So to give you an idea, after many years and many different bars of riding, my comfort spot is between 740 and 760. Most of the time, I will be around that 740 range, right? 740, 750. I leave myself a little bit of extra room, more so for some of our trails over here that have these like narrow sections to them where the trees have grown so close to each other that going between them, sometimes you get caught up and your pinky could get trapped between your bar and the tree. So I like giving myself that little bit of extra room in order to have the bar hit the tree or clip the tree, right? But for the most part for me, 740 is my comfort level. So I'm going to cut this bar down to the 760, which makes it a little bit simpler for me as I have the line over here to follow as a guide. Now, if you don't have any lines, whatever you narrow it down to, you have to make sure you cut it equally on each side, right? So let's say if you want to go from 740 to 760, then you got to trim 10 millimeters off each side in order to get to 760. So you just make sure you're accurate on that. You don't want to take off all of it from one side, right? So you don't want to take off 40 millimeters or 20 millimeters from this side and leave this side as is. It has to be equal cutting on each side. All right. So now that I know where I want to cut them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap that area with tape. You don't need much tape, just make it around once. Okay. Just like that. Again, the tape's job is to just collect dust particles. And now what I want to do is get this line to fall in the middle of that guide. So, oh, what do you know? Now, this might take a couple of shots. What you can do is do by eye first. Though it could be deceiving sometimes. Make sure you can see it. I don't know if you guys could see anything in there. All right. So right now, it sort of seems like it's nearly in the middle. Push. Oop, now I messed it up. Come on, a little bit over. There we go, just like that. And when you tighten down, you want to make sure that this guy is out of the way, right? So then we're going to take our blade and we're going to test to make sure that the blade falls on that line. And I am right at the edge of that line. I could technically go in about 0.5 millimeter. No, I'm good. No, I'm going to go in about 0.5 millimeter. So again, always test it out. Don't assume your eyeball sees it here that you're even, right? So let's do that. Now let's try it. And there we go. That is better. All right. So I'm going to put my mask on.
Luke, come hit this bong and join the high side.
I swapped the position over here of the guide. I want to get a better angle with the camera on this side. It won't reach on that side with the arm that it's on. So repositioned the handlebar, made sure that the blade sits right on top of the line that I want to cut, and it perfectly sits on there, right? So when it comes to cutting, unlike a regular hacksaw blade, a hacksaw blade only cuts in one way, and the preference for me at least is to have the hacksaw teeth facing forward. So you're cutting forward and then you're just dragging back, cutting forward, dragging back. Hacksaw blades don't cut two ways, guys. One way and then drag, one way and then drag, and take your time. Unlike a carbon blade, this cuts both ways. It's going to cut both front and back, but we do not want to put too much force. We want to use a little bit of force because we want this thing to also shave and essentially sand the edges that it's cutting at the same time. If we put too much force, we won't get that. And when we get to the bottom, we do not want to put too much force and break off the end. We want to slowly cut through it and shave through that little end so we don't end up with an edge, which is very common actually, even with these blades. It's just a question of being careful. What you can do is hold on to the edge a little bit so it doesn't fall off and cut through it, all right? So let me put my mask back on and let's start. Now, for cutting, I'm a bigger fan of using a hand in the front and a hand in the rear. It just gives me a little bit more control. The only thing with me here is that I have a whole camera set up right on my shoulder over here that extends all the way to the wall. So it makes it a little bit more challenging. If I bump the camera, I don't mean to, my apologies. So let's start cutting. So I'm just gonna take slow, low pressure movements back and forth. There is no rush over here with carbon, guys, okay? The more you rush it, the worse the cut will be. Just take your time. You're only doing this once, and that's it. Oh. This arm is in such a weird position right now for me. Amazing how hard carbon is. Literally feels like cutting steel. Again, with the lightest movements already, I'm halfway through. And I'm literally applying no pressure, mostly gravity. All I'm doing is applying pressure back and front. All these little bits, again, that's why I want a vacuum, because all these little bits come out, right? I mean, but I'd completely blast your ears if I was to vacuum it. What I'm gonna do when I'm done is just let it all sit down and settle here and vacuum it after. So now I'm nearing the bottom. When I start getting to the bottom, what I'm going to do is hold this bit over here. I don't want it to flop out. Very, very light pressure when you're at the bottom. And I mean extremely light. We want to literally smoothly shave it out. Cut it and shave it at the same time so we don't end up with too big of a burr. I had a piece cut off. Yep, I had a piece come off. So, shit. See, those are all the dust bits. So again, this stuff is real nasty. All right, so at a minimum, well, I got to plug up my vacuum. Let me let this settle, and then I'm going to clean it all up. I'll be back. So I vacuumed all the hard stuff for now, right? Next, what we're going to do, and I also put on a new set of gloves. When you take off your gloves, roll them off straight into the garbage can and roll on a new set, right? So now what I'm going to do is take off the tape. I just grabbed from the wrong edge. I bet you I did. Oh, great. There it is. Oh, crying out loud. Great. Anyway, wasting you guys' time watching this. There we go. All right, leave that down there for now. So we got a great edge. Actually, turns out that was tape. It wasn't even a burr that stuck out, right? So now I'm just going to take my sandpaper and we are just going to smooth out the edges on the outside. And we're going to do the same to the inside. Man, I got no more room over here. Try my hardest not to bump that camera. Oh yeah, that's totally smooth. Okay. Now, I'm just going to show this. When it comes to cleanup, again, vacuum up all the heavy stuff. And then a great way to get the small stuff is get a wet rag. And basically, even though I'm doing the heavy stuff right now, clean up the, see, I should have done. That's why you do. Anyway, okay. You grab a wet rag, a damp rag, and basically use it to clean up all the small stuff. It'll stick to it like, well, it'll just stick to it, right? Don't just give it one pass. Go over and over. You do not want this stuff sticking around, okay? Like I said, it makes a mess. I'm going to cut the other side, but I'm going to do it with a vacuum because, again, this stuff makes a mess and it gets everywhere. You could actually see that there's dust particles all around. I cut over here and look how many dust particles there are over there. Again, the stuff gets everywhere, guys. You do not want to breathe this. Do this outside when you can, all right? I'll be back. So I cut the other end of the bar and I ended up with 2 perfect cuts. No complaints from me over here. And then I went through the cleanup process. Now, before I talk about that, I used the vacuum to cut the other end of the bar. And to me, vacuums are essential. This is the first time I've cut a carbon steer tube or handlebar without a vacuum. A vacuum is going to suck up like 90%. I mean, you saw the mess that this left without a vacuum. A vacuum is going to suck all that up, right? You're going to be left with very little to clean up. The only reason I didn't use it in this video is because it's just, they're so loud when you record them. It's annoying, right? So the last thing I'm going to have is a vacuum going for the better part of, a few minutes just to see me cut a bar. But I highly recommend you use one. Now, make sure that you have a vacuum with a good exhaust filter. So I have a HEPA exhaust filter. The last thing you want is for a vacuum to suck up all the dust and debris on one side, and then without you knowing it, it's spitting it out the exhaust into the rest of the room, right? So make sure that you have a decent vacuum, or at least a vacuum with a decent exhaust filter. Then make sure that you clean everything, right? Grab a spray bottle, spray from a height, let the mist fall. Don't spray right at the spots. And then spray on a piece of paper towel and sop up everything that you see on tables, on your vise, on your tools. You would be surprised how much ends up inside the tool. Anything that the carbon dust touches, you want to clean up. Clean up your handlebars, clean up the inside of the handlebars. Again, use multiple gloves, roll off the gloves. After you finish your first major cut, roll off the gloves, put them in the garbage, and then get a new set of gloves, and then start touching things like an alcohol bottle or a spray bottle or anything, right? Then mess those gloves up, and then take those gloves off. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know how to stress this. I wish I could show you what it looks like. The dust is literally like little spears, and it sticks into everything, even into the rubber of the gloves. It literally just sticks into everything, almost like Velcro, and it'll stick around for a long, long time. The last thing you want is to run into any issues. If some people think this is overkill, well, remember, at one point in time, everybody thought asbestos was okay, and we all know how that one turned out. Don't be the guinea pig. Don't end up with some dumb situation that could have been avoided now that just didn't need to happen, all right? So from this point on, we take them, we put them on the bike, all right? Quick video there, guys, as far as cutting a carbon handlebar. Safely, that is. So if you like the video, please, guys, click that like button. Click the subscribe button to see more videos. Click the bell button, what-ding, in order to get notified when more videos get released. And more videos are coming, guys. So until then, I hope all is well with all of you, and we will be talking to you soon. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.